welcome and thanks for watching. My name is Don Chomet. Hands down, the most difficult aspect about preventing violence is the fact that we, as the people trying to stop it, we can never remain stationary. We have to keep moving and we must move forward. Now, if you're the district superintendent or the building principal or the SRO or some other critical leader, the toughest question for you really is, what should I do? And what I'd like to offer now is a model, a guide, and a piece of advice that I think is perfect and completely applicable for helping us to decide what it is should be our next best course of action to help us to move forward in preventing violence. Now, while the advice is incredibly old and it wasn't made and given for the building principal, the superintendent, of the SRO to prevent violence inside of a public school, it's still just, it's so simple, it's brilliant, and it works for us perfectly. The advice is going to come from St. Paul, and he is going to say, test everything, keep what is good, do no evil. Now, if we take the first element, how does this apply to us in the public school? Test everything. I think it helps to remind us that if we really want to prevent violence, we're going to have an open mindset. We're going to have to remain flexible. We're going to have to test everything, which implies a proactive mindset. Now, you often hear the phrase growth mindset, and we need a growth mindset when it comes to preventing violence, but there is no way to establish or maintain a growth mindset if you're just sitting back waiting for something to happen or something to come to you. That's not a growth mindset, right? To have a growth mindset, you must be open, you must be flexible, and you must be proactive. So that first element, test everything, it reminds us that we must have a growth mindset and we must be flexible, open, and we must be proactive. It's the only way to prevent violence. And what I love about this and the great reminder to us is this: keep what is good. There are no perfect prevention strategies or techniques or policies and procedures. They're not perfect. They're not great. They're only good. But what makes it great, what makes it perfect, is really when the people who are trained and they know how to implement it and they do it the right way at the right time, what you have now is a great strategy, a great technique, and you have something that can be perfect, right? Keep in mind, we have lots and lots of good techniques. They only become great or they only become perfect when our people know how to implement them and they do it the right way. So this reminds us that all we have is good, but we can make it perfect if we put our effort into our people. One of the best examples for me is going to be run, hide, and fight. It is a darn good strategy. It only becomes great or perfect when our people know how to implement it. So please keep that in mind. Keep what is good. We have lots of good. We need it to be great. Put your time and effort into your people, and it's going to be great, and it's going to be perfect. We, as people trying to prevent violence, it's not totally applicable to us because we're not doing evil. We don't need to stop doing evil. But in this case, what I think it does is, I love this last phrase because it reminds us of the risk that we're facing. It's not just simply that people are doing bad or people are doing injustices or they're doing harm to us. No, they're really doing evil. And I understand that not everyone likes that phrase. So if you want to add a different word, add a different word. But to me, this is what evil is. A person plans and prepares to take innocent lives. They then take innocent life, and while they're doing it, they're not remorseful or sad. And honestly, they're happy that they're being successful. To me, that is an evil mindset, and it reminds me of the risk that we're facing. We must move forward. We must test everything. We must keep what is good, train our people, make it perfect, because daggone it, the risk that is coming at us, they're trying to do evil. So if you like, you could even change this advice or this model just a little bit to something like this. Test everything, keep what is good, allow no evil, right? So do not permit or allow no evil. And I think it's completely applicable to that leader inside the public school. I know that sometimes advice, regardless of how good it is, it can only take you so far. If you find yourself struggling and you need someone else to help you problem solve, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to try to help you to move forward in any way that I possibly can. Call, text, or email, and I'd be happy to problem solve and see if I can't help you to figure out your next best course of action. Now, if you found this information beneficial and useful, please forward it on to your friends and coworkers and help them to move forward in preventing violence by implementing this great model of test everything, keep what is good, and allow no evil.